Hello, TikTok. It has been a while since I have been on TikTok, since I've been live on TikTok anyway. Gotta give this a moment for you guys to start coming in. We're gonna give away a free live reading from Spirit today, you guys. I'm excited to be here. I have not been on TikTok in months, and I was gonna say I don't know why, but yeah, I do. Because I'm a lot more comfortable on Facebook. Let me tell you, I'm old school and technology is not really my strong suit. So Facebook's like my comfort zone, right? Been talking to Spirit on Facebook for like 10 years. So I don't come over to TikTok as often. It's a whole different ballgame over here, you guys. So forgive me for not being here for a while, but as I was saying in my earlier live on Facebook, I was given instructions in my meditation recently that I got to try to start doing more messages on TikTok as well, free live readings on TikTok as well as on Facebook. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys a lot more often. Just know that this is not my comfort zone. I don't have a team of people, bodyguarding for me or anything like that. The comment section can be a crazy place, especially on TikTok when there's so many of you here. So forgive me as I bumble through this. But yeah, we're going to start doing this more often again. On TikTok, I do these live every day on Facebook, just so you guys know. Again, TikTok's not my comfort zone, but we're going to make it my comfort zone bit by bit. All right, you guys, so I don't have a lot of time. Let's just describe how this works and jump right in, shall we? So it works a little bit different here on TikTok than it does on Facebook as well, because on Facebook, I am shadow banned so badly that I can't pull people up on my live. They've done something to my technology that it doesn't work. The live will cancel every time I try to do that. So on Facebook, we do it old school, where I go live on my computer and then people call me on my cell phone. But on TikTok, I'm on TikTok on my cell phone, so you guys can't call my cell phone. But I can pull you onto my live on TikTok. So if you would like a free live message from Spirit, then this is how this works. You got to listen to the instructions if you would like a message from Spirit. First of all, they're free. They're absolutely free. If you see my face up here on a live giving messages from Spirit, they are always free. Please be careful, you guys, especially on TikTok. There is a lot of trolls, a lot of people out there, fake accounts of mine as well. They take my picture, they take my videos, they post it and make all these fake accounts pretending to be me, and then they try to fish you. They try to solicit you for readings. Anybody who does that, you guys, is not a real reader. And I'm preaching to the choir. Most of you know that by now. Anybody who reaches out and needs you to friend request them so they can snoop your profile before they read for you and, fishes you and tries to get you to Cash App some weird name, they're not real, I promise you. For me, these are always free. I work my ass off to make these messages free for people because I find that this work is so valuable and meaningful to people. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I've watched these messages from Spirit transform lives, other people's lives and mine. So I'm not here to get famous, you guys. I'm here for the satisfaction that I get every time I connect you guys with your loved ones. That's my juice. That's what I'm here for. So that's all I care about. Negative Nancy's who don't believe in what I do, I so do not care. You want to come into the comments and call me all kinds of names in the book? I do not care. You know what? I'm not even reading the comments, to be honest with you. Not even seeing them, so you're not affecting me. So I'm here to pass on the messages from Spirit to the people who want them. That's it. So how does this work, you guys? How this works is they're always free. Anytime you see me up here, they are absolutely free. All I ask from you is that you help me help you and you share the live. Share it to somebody that needs these messages, that might resonate with the messages being delivered. Share it in a group or anybody. Just share the live. That's the only requirement. Help me help you guys share the live. And then if you would like a message from Spirit, then I need you to add yourself to my live. Again, I'm not exactly sure how you guys do that. You TikTokers, you know how to do that. Add yourself to my live I think some of the smaller accounts might not be able to add themselves to my live. I'm not exactly sure. If you can't, check me out on Facebook, you guys. Then you can just call me on my cell phone. But if you want a message from Spirit here on TikTok, then you got to add yourself to my live. And then what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to explain how this process works. And I got Spirit right here that I can feel and sense. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that little box thingy down there. Sorry, I don't know what it's called. And I'll see all your names who have tried to add to the live, and I'm going to pick somebody. Spirit's going to choose, and I'll pull you onto my live, and I'll give that person a free live reading. We're only going to do one. I have a 1 p.m. Appointment this afternoon, so I only have time for one today. But again, I want to remind you guys that I'm going to start coming back to TikTok a lot more often than I have been. Thank you guys for your patience. All right, so how does this work? I want to remind you guys that your loved ones are not talking to me. They are talking to you. I am literally the medium. As I'm like messing up my necklace, I am the medium. I am the person in the middle, the translator, if you will. You got to understand that your loved ones are not gone. I know you think they are because you can't see them in your physical reality anymore. But your loved ones are so not gone. It's just that the soul vibrates so fast, so high, that it becomes invisible to the physical eyes. Our senses are the ways that we interpret the variations of vibrations in this physical reality all around us. For whatever reason, I was born in such a way that, yes, I can access my physical senses like all of you, but I'm also very aware of my non-physical senses, whether I like it or not. I am very aware of the loved ones, the spirit, the other realms all around you. And let me tell you, your loved ones are always with you. They're always connecting with you. They're always communicating with you. They're sending you signs and symbols. The thing is, you guys, they don't speak English, Chinese, Spanish, French, no physical speech language. Your loved ones are pure energy. They speak signs, symbols, and when they communicate, when they communicate with me, they're using signs and symbols, but they're not talking to me. They're talking to you, and they're going to show me whatever it is that they need to show me to get me to say what they need me to say, so you get the message they need you to get. But if I bring a message to you that they're giving to me, and I'm like, why is he showing me this big fat orange cat? Your uncle standing here, or your grandpa standing here with Garfield, and I bring that message to you, and you're like, I don't know, you tell me. You guys, I'm not in your life. I don't know what that means. My job is to not know why they're telling me to say what they want me to say. My job is to say it in a way that you understand. That is not an accident that I gave you that message. It's actual exact scenario that just happened to a young lady that came to one of my groups. I think it was her grandfather actually, but I don't remember exactly. Her loved one on the other side, I know it was a man. He stepped forward, could have even been dad. I digress. He stepped forward holding this big orange fat cat, and I saw a big orange fat cat, and in my library, I saw Garfield. They show me my library, my thoughts, feelings, and experiences, whatever sign or symbol they want me to say, so you get the message you get, that they need you to get. So this father figure showed up with Garfield, and I'm like, why is he holding Garfield? Why is he like standing there with Garfield? He's got this big fat cat. And she did not understand the message. So I posted the groups, and because I post all of the Zoom groups. If you don't know what my Zoom groups are, I make these messages. I'll get to that after. I'll come back to that in a second. So anyway, I posted the video after, and she watched it again a couple of weeks later, and it all of a sudden hit her. She's like, oh my God. She had this great big fat orange cat that passed right after her loved one did. And so, of course, her loved one was stepping forward with the big fat orange cat. But they don't step forward and say, tell her I have her orange cat that died right after she died, or after I died. He steps forward showing me he's got the orange fat cat that I think is Garfield, because that's what he shows me in my library to get you the message he needs you to get. Now, I'm not in your life. I don't know you lost an orange cat. How can I know that? My job is the translator to bring you the message that you need to get. They're talking to you. They are not talking to me. So please understand that if Spirit chooses you, that we have to work together for you to understand these messages. The thing is, you guys, these messages are very randomly specific. What I mean by that is that they might sound kind of random. An orange cat is kind of random, right? But it's very specific to the situation that's going on in your life. For your loved ones, this is not about predicting what's coming up in your world. It is not about guessing which sign or symbol you wrote down on a piece of paper to test them and me before we connected. For your loved ones, this is about them giving you the details and the validations and the signs and the symbols of things that there is no way I can know, so you know they are still in your life. It is about me getting up here every single day and teaching you their language, their symbols, their signs, their presence all around you, so that you never have to feel like your loved ones are dead and gone ever again. You guys, they're not. If you stop talking to them, if you stop communicating with them, if you stop understanding their responses to you and you pass everything they say to you off as fluke, random, or chance because it's not coming to you in a physical way, you are missing out and you are experiencing the death of your loved ones. But when you start understanding that they never have left you, and you can understand the signs and the symbols that they are communicating with you with, you will feel their presence in your life every day. It is not the same as when it was in the physical. I know. That's why we have to make the most out of the physical while we have it. But I promise you it is better than them being dead and gone. This is why I work so hard to get up here every day, mostly on Facebook, but I'm going to get better at TikTok as well to help as many of you as I possibly can. I've been doing this work for a long time. I'm a professional medium. This is my entire life. So you can get a private message from me by going to my website, thmedium.ca. But again, I have to stress to you guys, I do not fish you. I do not chase you. If you would like a message from me, you got to go to my website. That's the only way to book with me. My booking team will absolutely help you out with that. And it's not just a private reading. Private readings have to cost so much. Not so much, but enough that I can support myself doing this work. But it's not the only way to get a reading from me. I bust my ass every day giving free readings on Facebook, now again on TikTok. I also offer Zoom groups on Zoom every Tuesday for only $28 a person, Canadian. I'm in Canada, you guys. So in the States, that's even cheaper. I think it's less than 20 bucks or just over 20 bucks. American. I digress. Oops, and I kicked the camera. Sorry. Point is that I do everything I possibly can to make these messages available to as many of you as I possibly can, as affordable as I possibly can, so that everybody gets access to these messages. And that is extremely important to me, because when I was trying to figure out who the heck I was and why I was such a weirdo in this world, I did not have access to anybody getting up here speaking like this or helping me understand. You know how much thousands of dollars I spent on 900 numbers way back when? I'm a lot older than I look, just so you know. A lot, let me tell you. So it's very important to my heart that I make this accessible for everybody. Okay, let's get into it and see who we're reading for today, shall we? I'm so excited. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. We're going to pull somebody up. Bum, bum, bum. Remember, if you would like a message, you just have to add yourself to my live. Oh, okay. Where am I going? Oh, Alexa. I think it's connecting. I'm not sure. It is connecting. I think. Let's see if this is going to work. Oh, what did it say? That did not work. Okay, we'll try this again. Like I said, you guys, she's here. She's trying again. We'll try again. Now it says connecting. Oh, are we going to spirit tag? Oh, hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. Spirit was like, can you see Spirit messing with the camera already?
Yes.
That's why you can tell spirit is in the room. This is my life. They mess my technology all the time. Have Have you ever seen me read before, Alexa?
I have not.
Awesome. See, this is why God told me to come back to TikTok.
Yes, no, I've never seen you before.
Okay. Well, did you hear my open on how this works for me and stuff like that?
I did.
Perfect. Okay, so the only other thing I need you to do is tell me who you want me to focus on. I ask people this on my lives because sometimes people have a lot of spirit on the other side, and you are definitely not an exception. So I need you to tell me who you want me to focus on so I could go right to that soul and get you the messages with the short time that we have.
My fiance or my best friend would be perfect.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Man, okay. Back up, you guys. They're both here. Let's just say that. We're not picking one or the other. They're both here.
Okay.
Okay, so I like to start with a connection exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you sit with both feet flat on the floor, and I'm going to take you through a connection exercise really quickly. But I forgot to give you 2 ground rules that are really important here before we start. First thing I need you to remember is that your loved ones, sometimes they bring people with them as they step forward, right? And
Yes.
they don't always step forward with their name, address, and phone number. Trust me. Sometimes I will feel a relationship bond, but sometimes they will only give me one sign or symbol that will only relate to one person, and that's how they'll bring that person forward. So you got to pay attention to that. The other thing I want to remind you that they're already starting with me with is that your loved ones are going to take me through their passing from their experience, not yours. And that trips people up sometimes, but it is the most important part of this process because sometimes we think they suffer more than they do, or there's many reasons why it's so important that you understand that they are going to take me through their passing from what they experienced. They don't tell me what kind of cancer they had, for example. They tell me that what their last memories were or what they experienced as they passed over. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here we go. So what I need you to do is I need you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for just a minute. Then what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. And when I'm done talking, I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me. And give me a minute to focus. Okay, the love that is coming through already is enormous. Okay, here we go. This beginning part, hun, is what I call a puzzle dump. I call it a puzzle dump because for me, that's exactly what it feels like. You have to dump out all of the pieces before you can figure out how they fit together. When we do that connection exercise, there's a huge amount of information that washes over all of my senses. But because I'm not in your life, I'm not exactly sure how those fit together yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain everything I'm picking up, and then we'll go back and figure out how that fits. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go. Like I said, first thing that I'm very aware of is a huge amount of love that comes from him to you. I feel the distorted energy. Distorted energy is, I call it distorted energy. And what I mean by that is pain, grief, and trauma can distort the energy field, kind of like water will distort sound. You can still hear underwater, but it'll become muffled, right? So I can feel that grief and pain energy around his soul as he steps forward. He shows me the sudden, unexpected, or traumatic passing. I literally taste blood, and my face is extremely itchy. Now, when I taste blood, it doesn't always mean that there was blood. It just means that the situation was very traumatic, and he is way too young to be on that side. Now, I can't see you, obviously. Even my eyes are closed. Even if you were in front of me, I couldn't see you. But he's making me feel like you are young and you are beautiful and you had your whole lives ahead of you, and that this just happened so unexpectedly. He takes me to the chest and I feel the impact. And I don't know if this is somebody resuscitating me or what the heck this is, but I feel impact. I feel even my lips are dry. I'm trying to breathe. I have the dizzying thoughts, or spinning thoughts, which is not, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or I can't communicate right before I pass. And then he like jumps up and he's like, tell her I look great over here. I'm all in one piece. I'm so good over here. He's not letting your friend through yet. He goes, not your turn yet. Me first. I know it's supposed to be ladies first, but this man loves you so much that here's the thing. There is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance. There is synchronicity and alignment, and spirit will put you in exactly the right place at exactly the right moment at exactly the right time so they can get you the message they need you to get. These two have been working on the other side to bring you here today, even though you never even met me before and I didn't even know I was going to be on TikTok this morning. They knew. And they aligned this here today for a reason. I'm not sure yet. I got to slow them down because they're going so fast. Is some of this making sense to you?
Yes, all of it.
How did your husband pass, hon?
He hung himself. He took his own life.
Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. You understand that this is why he's emphasizing love. This is why why they take me through their passing from their experience, not yours. And this is why it's so important, because he didn't do that because he didn't love you. First of all, he's emphasizing the spinning minds. He was not in his right mind. Was he under the influence when this happened?
He was. He was already an addict, but other things were going on. So you're absolutely right. He was not in his right mind.
See, here's the thing. This man loves you so much, and he's just emphasizing, like literally every hair is standing up on my arm. He says, you got to know there was nothing that you coulda, woulda, should have done differently. And he's literally showing me the mind or the brain scoop, which is where they're trying to scoop things out of your mind. What they don't want you to remember him that way. He's like, there was nothing you coulda, woulda, should have done differently. He was sick. He didn't know how to ever make himself better. And part of his reasoning, which he can see now from that side clearer than he could here, that was twisted, was that you would be better off without him.
Yes,
But
he used to always tell me that.
he's so sorry. He's like, it's one of those moments, where as it's happening, they show you this in TV sometimes. Like you'll see somebody jumps off a building, and as they're on their way down, they regret it and they want to go back, but they can't. It's already done. Now he's letting your best friend step forward. Now she shows me a similar thing, but I definitely am still tasting blood with her. And was this accident in some way, shape, or form? Because I heard accidental, accidental, accidental. So either she passed the same kind of way as him, but there's also something very sudden and traumatic about it as well.
Hers is very traumatic. She did not take her own life, though.
Got ya. Because she keeps saying accidental, accidental, accidental. I taste the blood. She's like sudden. I can feel it. How did she pass?
She was brutally raped and then murdered.
Yeah. See, she won't take me through that. You understand?
I do.
She also needs you to know that if she had felt any of that, she would have taken me through it, because they will always take me through their passing from their experience. But you have to understand that sometimes God will take a soul before that they actually die, before the body dies, so the soul does not experience that pain.
It is a miracle. It's just amazing that you told me that, because I've always felt, she was murdered 13 years ago, and I've always felt in my heart that she never felt any of that.
She didn't. You were absolutely right. And so the reason what you just explained there, see, I talk about this all the time. A lot of you are so psychic, you just don't know it. Your loved ones are talking to you every day. It's just that they sound like a thought that interrupts the rest of your thoughts. That's her telling you that, giving you that peace of mind. Please understand that that was her voice you were hearing.
Wow.
Did you name a child after her as well? She's showing me this, which is named after or just like. So either you've named somebody after her, somebody's named after her, or you're planning on doing this.
No, but her sister is one of my very close friends, and they named a child after her.
So please pass that on to them, that she's extremely grateful, and to thank you. And she also handed them the rose, which is my symbol for birthday, anniversary, or a date that happens once a year. How do you understand that?
We celebrate both her death date and of course, her birthday. and she loved roses, so I can take that completely.
Is would they're more specific than this on either there's a birthday or anniversary date that just passed or it's coming up because when we
Her death
pardon.
her death date is coming up, and then her birthday actually just passed. So both.
Yes, so she's right in the middle.
Yes,
Synchronicity and alignment. Do you see what I mean? They put you in exactly the right place at exactly the right time to give you the message that they need you to get.
it's amazing.
She wants you to know that she's going to take care of him on that side because your husband he's such a hurt soul. I say husband because that's how he's like, I'm going to be your husband forever. Like, I can see the proposal. He actually proposed, right?
He did.
Because he's making me feel like in that moment, that was the closest thing to being your husband that he's ever experienced. And he was married from that moment on. Like just the fact that you said yes was all he needed. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense.
Now, he also has a dog over there as well. He's showing me the dog.
Oh my gosh, he loved that dog.
He shows me the heart, which is my symbol for healing and reconnection. And he's like, oh, we're together, we're together, we're together. They timed this right here and right now, in right after a birthday and before the anniversary, so that when you go into that anniversary, it's of her passing. Is that what this anniversary date is coming up?
Yes, ma'am.
So as you go into that, please know she doesn't want you to call that her death date anymore. She wants you to call that her heaven birthday. The dead tell me this all the time. They said they have two birthdays when they pass. They have a birthday where they're born into the physical, and then they have a birthday where they're born back into heaven. And so she wants you to think of that as her second birthday, or that she's never left you. And that as you guys think about her every year, she's like, plan me a freaking party already. Don't sit around and cry on my birthday anymore. I want you to plan a party for me. I want you to just keep talking to me, and she will keep sending you messages, and so will he. That's what she was saying. She's taking care of him on the other side because your fiance was a hurt soul, and he's soaking up the healing and the love and the nurturing on the other side. It feels like he sure didn't get a lot of that here in the physical world.
He
And
did not.
so she's just going to love him up in a friendship kind of way for you until you get over there. And he just wants to take this moment to thank you for loving him because, again, it feels like he didn't get a lot of that. And he needs you to know that it matters. And his regret is that he went in the way that he did because I can still hear the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Is there something I should have done there? I could have done this differently. He's like, that ends today. You did everything. You were the best thing in my life. And that's why these two on the other side worked so hard to get me back on TikTok so they could line me up with people like you that need these messages that they would never have been able to reach any other way.
That's amazing. And you remind me so much of her. I just have to say that too.
Aw, I love that. She said, thank you for the picture. I love that picture too. Oh, you still have it. I just see two
Oh my
faces.
gosh. Yes. Oh my goodness. Right before she passed, a week before she passed, I used to do photography, and I took her pictures a week before she passed away.
You still have those.
I do.
When you talk, they hear you. They just can't speak physical language. They speak signs and symbols. Have you been thinking about them a lot this week?
I think about them every day. Both of them.
Know that it is literally impossible for you to think about somebody unless they're right in front of you. You can't think about something that doesn't exist or that is not there. Every time you're thinking about them, it's because they're standing right in front of you, and your heart is processing their presence, just like your nose processes a smell, and it can smell the presence of things that your eyes can't see. Your heart can smell the presence of your loved ones, and you interpret that as your thought.
Yes, that happens quite often as well.
As they're pulling your energy back, your fiance, he's putting a sweater or a jacket or something around your shoulders. You still have a piece of clothing of his,
I do. I have a jacket of his, and I wear it pretty much every day.
so he knows that because as he's pulling his energy back, he wants to remind you that when you wear that jacket, his soul is with you everywhere you go.
Mm.
He loves you very much. And then he just, oh, you know what he just said? Are you in a new relationship, hun?
I am.
Because you know what he just said? He just said, I know it's a little unconventional, but please let her know I'm walking her down the aisle.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Are you getting married?
Um, we've talked about it, but I don't know.
He's like emotional on the other side. He said this guy is good. He likes this guy. Aw. He just likes you to be happy. He wants you to be happy. He's like, clarify this. I like him when he makes her happy, and when he pisses her off, he shows me the shotgun.
I can relate to that too.
He's like, listen, if this is the guy you want, then you tell me to help. You tell me what you need to make this work. You tell me what tools and supports you need, and I will help line them up in your world. I am your support system on the other side. Think about him as like your Amazon guy. He'll send you what you need, but you got to tell him what you need.
Right.
And if this relationship does not fill you up with love, then let it go and tell him what you want in a relationship. Tell him how you want that person to be, and he will help use his energy to line him up in your world, just like he lined me up in your world.
Right.
That's how they speak to you. They're not gone. And we feel like they're gone because we feel like they can't help us anymore. They can't talk to us anymore. But I'm telling you right now, when you ask him for help and it shows up the next day, and you realize it is mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance, you'll understand that he's always connecting to you, and you won't feel that same absence that you feel now. He's got this extreme love for you, and he just wants you to be happy here in the physical world. So as you move forward in your life, you think of him as your spiritual Amazon. Whatever you need, he will send it. You've just got to place your order. You don't go onto Amazon and say, I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't want this, because then you're going to get a lot of things you don't want at your door, right?
Right. Right.
It's like, focus on what you want, sweetheart. I will bring it to you. You gave him the greatest love of his life, and his mission now is to line you up with the greatest love of yours.
Oh my gosh. He used to tell me that every day. He did.
So it doesn't change just because they're in spirit. This is why I do the work that I do, because of situations and messages just like that. Oh, honey, I'm going to let him pull his energy back now, but I hope that was helpful.
It was. I appreciate you so much. As soon as I saw your face, I don't know why, but I knew that when I hit that button, you were going to read me. I knew you were. That's crazy.
You're psychic.
It was just supposed to be that way.
Yeah. And you could feel him because he drew me here. He
Oh,
literally
yes, I
drew me here.
did.
I haven't been
I
on
knew you
live
were.
on TikTok for months.
Yes, I knew that you were going to pick me. I did.
Awesome.
And I
All right.
appreciate you
Well, if
so
you
much.
can, I don't know how to end that now. You got to do that for me if you don't mind. Clicking that
Okay,
button.
let me see if I can do it. Thank you so much.
You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome, hon.
you.
Take care.
You too.
And I want to remind you guys out there that are watching right now that there is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance. Spirit groups together the people that can get the most out of the messages being delivered. They are masters of synchronicity and alignment, as we just heard. What that means is they will group together those of you who will understand those messages. So if you just heard something that resonated with you, it's for you just as much as it's for them. If you heard a message that, you get the picture. Your loved ones are strong. How many people do we have here? I feel like my brain is swimming. I don't have time to do another message today, but I will be back again, you guys. I will be back again. I'm going to try to get here as often as I can. I'm live almost every day on Facebook, and I'm going to try to incorporate it more on TikTok as well. So thank you guys for supporting me and helping me help you by sharing these lives. Oh, one last thing, especially for Alexa. I do download these lives and then upload them to my YouTube channel. So go look me up on YouTube. It's just my name, Tracy Horseman Medium. I don't know, something like that. You'll see all my messages and all my groups and everything up there. So if you're looking for this live after go find it on my YouTube channel. They're all recorded and put up there so that you have access to them later and you can share them with your friends and family. Have a great night, you guys. I will see you tomorrow, either here or on Facebook, or maybe both. Have a great weekend, guys, or a great week. Now, how do I end this thing? Let's see if I can remember that. End live before trying sub only live. I don't know what that means.